Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for joining the meditation class for today. Um, I want to thank all of you who are present here physically as well as online for taking the time to join the class to realize the truth within themselves. As I have said many times, this class is not directed for any particular style of your living. It doesn't affect. It is just a very practical way of living, and you can apply it to your own dealings every day, however way you do it. You can check, apply, see if this works for you, how it works for you, and then make changes to it according to what is appropriate in your situation. Because one of the best things in realizing the path of truth is that the truth has to be within yourself. It's not because I say so it's good, or he says so it's good, or she says so it is good. It has to be applied to your own situation, your own justification, your own liking, and everything that you feel is a truth to you. And you can use these learnings here as the tools to test. If you are more truthful to yourself, your journey will be faster towards higher consciousness, awareness. If you don't, then it will take its due course, because remember, there is nothing right or nothing wrong. It is just what path you take. If I have to go from here to a destination which is up north, there is nobody stopping me to go south first. If I decide to go south, I can. And if I go there, what will happen is my journey is a little longer. Yeah, somebody might say, oh, you are doing totally wrong, because maybe they are aware that if she goes this way, she's going to go the wrong way, or it will take her longer, not necessarily the wrong way, although at the level of mind it appears wrong. So I think that is all about this, and that is why it's called spirituality. It is the consciousness is within you, and you are going to go from there. So if we start, we will just pick right back from where we stopped last time in the class, and that was we were talking about there are I think 4 parts we were going to discuss about truly meditating and availing the higher level of consciousness. So if we look at that, the first one was, can we go to the requirements? These are, we call, sometimes these words can sound a little stronger for like requirements. That means if you don't meet these requirements, you can never make it. But realize that this is words, is a terminology. The same thing may mean something else to someone and someone else, depending even on the cultures. I have to do it. If you are from India, that's the routine life. You have to do this. If you are here, they go, you got to do it. You have to means you're really commanding me. So the requirement means that these are some of the things that if you do follow, your journey towards your own self maybe will be a little faster. Therefore, you may term them as requirements. But if you don't have them, what will happen? Will you not make to ultimate goal one day? Yeah, you will. It may take a little bit more traveling that may be needed in your particular case. So we talked about true desire, and if you notice everywhere it says true, because this is the path of truth, and you need to be true to yourself. So the true desire, then you do need a true teacher, because if you don't find a teacher, everywhere there is a teacher needed. True schooling, when you need to get a degree, you do find a school. So you need a true schooling, and then you need true dedication. All these things, if you think they are coming from a person directly, really, nowhere it says you have to go anywhere, right? True desire means you as a person, or me as a person, we need to have true desire. True teacher is your over-consciousness, which is going to guide you through. True schooling, your body within you is the consciousness line, which is the school. And the true dedication, if you take the dedication to meet with the teacher and go to your own school and you are true in your desire, you will succeed. So then we go to the next one, the true desire. So today we will talk about the desire part, true desire. So what is the desire and what is the true desire? And then we have also probably, if we are interested in meditation, we always have heard about that we should be desireless. So if we need to be desireless, why there should be a desire in the first place? It doesn't really make sense. But then we are saying there should be a desire, there should be a true desire, and then you should be desireless. So if I can start this thing with an example, that if I have to take a journey and I go, then I need to make the moves to go to that journey. That has to happen without any making the move. I just cannot make it. Unless I have made the move, I cannot do it. So there comes that unless there is a feeling of separation, there cannot be a feeling of reuniting. You can call it a feeling or you can call it a desire, but when you are separated, if I had to come here to my work from home, I had to leave the home. That was the separation. Now I have to have the desire to go home. Am I attached to that desire? No, but should I get back home? Yeah, for obvious reasons. So therefore the word is used desire. But as we progress into this path, this desire changes the shapes. It does change the shape. So from a desire, first something happens and we go, I need to find the spirituality, or somehow we feel like there is a purpose in life, why I don't find it, or something like that. Or what happens, we are going, we are running, we are very successful in our life, boom, suddenly we fall very sick out of nowhere. And then we realize that this body, which was working like, I don't know, 20 hours a day or 18 hours a day, suddenly cannot even get up. And then the question comes to us, what happened? What is the truth? I was thinking I could do anything and everything with this body. Today I cannot. So this must not be the truth. There is then the longing comes. That desire can change the shape of a longing. And then once the longing comes and we take the path and we start to go, and once we start realizing, there may be a step where we get so much into the acceptance that we say, you know what, I don't have any desire left in me, because I am getting into acceptance. So once you start walking, somebody has told you the path, you are walking and you start seeing the destination, really you know you're gonna make it. Then it doesn't become even a challenge anymore and you get into acceptance. I was sharing a story with Babs earlier, and there was this guy who was looking for the truth, and then he went to the master and he told master that, you know, I'm looking for the truth. And he thought this master is a master, so he probably follows certain disciplines and does this and does that because he is a master. So when he went there, he saw the master was sleeping like until, I don't know, 11, 12 o'clock. Then he got up, and then after he got up, he just drank whatever he needed to drink. Then he went somewhere, then he came back, and he watched the routine of this master. You know, that really there is no discipline. Sometimes he's up 7 o'clock, sometimes it is up any time. What's going on? So he got so in a way frustrated that he went to the master and he said, what kind of master are you? You know, there is nothing here. I came to learning, but by looking at you, I'm only getting more frustrated. And the master said, the real realization is that you come in acceptance. Whenever the feeling comes to me to get up, I get up. When I need to sleep, I sleep. When he makes me to feel like eating, I eat. So what happens? He became so nothing that he became literally everything. So this is a part of moving from, first there is a feeling of separation, then you go more into it, then you go more into it, and when you discover it, you find that we are nothing. And then we become everything because you have integrated yourself into everything. So we all have desires, and that is another thing. Now there is another part to desire. We all have desires to get better. So why is that desire and where does it come from? Even when we look at our physical lives, we find that there is always a desire, and the desire is always to get better. Nobody wants to get worse than what they are, right? It just doesn't make sense. So sometimes when you look deeper into why there is a desire, if even if you have a person and let's say his material status is really good, his son grows up and he watches what his father is, he wants to do better. Always, there is always a better thing. And if you go deeper into it, as a soul or the consciousness, we are coming from that over consciousness who has created everything. All this that we see, air, water, land, mountains, skies, everything somehow are there for us. Now, if we are the drop of that conscious, super conscious entity, then we are going to bring that character. And in actuality, if you look at the desire of soul, it wants to take over everything. The person who has the best riches, if you ask them, are you satisfied? He'll never say, I'm satisfied, or she. They'll say, I need more. I need more. Until it becomes that ocean, that desire will not satisfy. That is the nature given to the mind for desiring. This is a very deep chapter, so we will go into many parts of the desire. But and why that is a desire? Because this is coming to become the consciousness within us wants to become that over consciousness, which is everything. So there is going to be desire. I cannot accomplish that. I don't know that. So therefore, whatever I know, I'm going to try to get better. Because this desire, for example, if this was coming, if this was the major consciousness, ocean of consciousness, and I was a drop as this consciousness, now I have been giving a mind, a this and that. So what I see around me is a material world. This and this connection has not been quite made yet. So what will happen that I will try to do whatever I can do here and I'll get better here. So that's where the desire comes, and it always pushes us to do better, because someday when we unveil this mind and gets into the mental and get into the emotional and get into the spiritual worlds, we will go from here to here. When we become this, then there is no more desire anymore. Nothing, because we have become what we need to become. And where it comes from? So it does come from here, because it is, but it is so deep, it is just like that light. This is the light illuminating, and then there are the coverings. Coverings and coverings and coverings of material, so it looks like there is no light. But we couldn't be sitting here, people couldn't be watching me, I couldn't be talking here if there was no light. Because as soon as this light is out, there are a lot of people lying down but they cannot get up. And we called it a physical death. So can I have the next one, please? So we believe in efforts and results. We work hard. We get positive results, we get negative results. Now we are strictly looking at the desire and the mind, right? There is a mind is saying I need to get better. And then we believe, because we are operating in this physical world as mind, so there is going to be, okay, I have to get up and make this effort and the results will come. I don't know who doesn't have this feeling, but majority of us run by this. You cannot sit and say, I'm meditating, not doing anything, and let us see if you're a young kid, your parents, how do they take it? They're gonna say, you know what, don't sit here all day long doing nothing, get up and do, because if you make an effort, you will get the result. That is general saying. So we work hard. Sometimes we end up getting positive results, sometimes we don't. Can I have the next slide? So when we don't get results, we think, why? I worked hard. Sometimes we do good efforts and they give us good results. Then we are satisfied. Our mind. Not necessarily we are satisfied, but our minds. Sometimes we do good efforts, we get bad results, and we go, what went wrong? I did everything to the T the way I wanted to do. Then we do bad efforts, give bad results. You did bad, you ended up getting bad. That makes sense to us. But sometimes there are bad efforts and they give good results. I am sure in this room, however people are here, we all know that. Sometimes we see others because we always think we are the best, we never do it. We always put ourselves in the highest position just because of our ego. But if we see others, especially bad efforts, and they get good results, we are really questioning. We are always questioning how come that person did this and ended up with good results. Then we get confused, we get sick over it, right? In other day, and I don't know, I don't understand why there is misunderstanding and blah blah whatever. We get tired or we get exhausted, really, because we are all handling at the level of mind, and then we go, you know what, this is not working. Why it is going like that? And there is no answer. And then we move on to the next slide. And then we go like life is not fair. It's typical. I've heard it so many times. It only happens to me. I do everything good. I am so honest. I am so good. I am so great. But my friend, she does exactly the opposite, but always ends up good results. She gets a good date. She gets good clothes. Why this happens to me? But the desire still does not die. We still want to keep on doing something or the other. But this is the chain of events. Tell me if this is not works for you like that.
Oh
or all of us.
I'm in that situation right now.
Yeah, you see. So that is how it goes. Just like life is not working. Now, although it may seem like that life is not fair, but everything that happens takes you to somewhere, right? They say that if one thing doesn't work, the other would try this, and then we get a lot of people who are themselves not so happy, but they will come out to rescue us. They are crying, but they will wipe our tears. When we are crying, they will do it. When we are crying, we will do theirs. It goes like that. None of us are happy, but we are trying to be happy. We are trying to be happy. So desire still is there because the desire is to get happy. We want to get happy. That's our ultimate source of being happy. So can we go to the next one? And when we don't get happiness, then there is something that gets triggered in us. And then for a lot of us, I cannot say for everyone, but it does get triggered in us that maybe this is not the truth. This is not how it works, that if you do, you get good results. Because that person is doing bad and getting good results. I am doing good. I am getting bad results. Maybe there is some other law going on there. What is that law? How does it work? And you will see, I think I was sharing the story of Buddha the other day. And his name was Siddhartha. And he was the only child of the king. And he had never seen any bad thing because the king loved him too much. So he was always protected unless the time came that he needed to be put on the throne. And then there was the procession. And in the procession, he saw one old person and he said, "What is wrong with this person?" And they said, "He's old." That's it. And he said, "Would I become like old?" And they go, "Yeah." And he said, "This is not fair. If I will become like that, then this is not right. I will not be like this forever." They go, "No." And then he saw a dead body and he goes, "What is that?" He goes, "Yeah, he's done with, So would it happen to me? Yeah. Happens to everyone? Yeah. So why are we so proud of us? We don't know. We need to be because that's how we are. And then third thing, he saw sickness, that, and old age. The guy walking with the stick. So these three things were enough for him to change his life. At night, he left his wife and the little baby and he said, "I have to find the truth." So that little thing ignited him, whereas we walk on the street every day, see many beggars, see many people hungry, see many old people, nothing happens to. So there is a difference of heart, right? Something triggers to someone. If you say something to a delicate baby, he cries right away. Some kid who's really hard, he will rather slap you around. He has no heart. So what happens? The difference is in their heart. Both of them have heart, right? So that is what happens, that when it makes the change in us, and the thought comes to us, what happened, why does it work, and then we look for the truth and something more true, which is more believable. We know that we are gonna leave this physical body one day, but we don't believe, we really don't believe, we think this will not happen to me. If we knew that we are going to leave this and we should not love this body, then we shouldn't be loving as much. This entire world would not be running if we believed in it. We think we are gonna live. There are anti-aging products today, so we don't age, although we know that it doesn't work. But when the shock comes, when something like that happens, then really our journey becomes, because we see the separation. There is something that happens to us. And the journey of truth starts at that time. Do we have more of this? Okay, so can we go on more? So that is about the desire. Now, our next session, when we discuss, it's going to talk about how far the true desire goes. Because of first, I only discussed the desire part that we have. We have material desire, we have separation desire, we have finding the truth desire. And I also shared the desire is coming from the overconsciousness, but at the level of mind, we don't recognize it quite yet. Then we will see from desire when it becomes the true desire. Right now we are talking about the desire to find that truth, because we all feel, by this discussion also, we are all looking that this doesn't look right. Bad results are coming to good people, bad, all confusion. When we find more and more confusion, we start looking for truth. We really do. I don't know. Do you think so, Damien, that we look for the truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah. What about you, Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Kenny? Yeah. So we start, so in a way, like blessing in disguise, although we don't like what is happening to us, but a lot of stories, if you read, like I shared with Buddha, the same thing happens. The awakening comes that there's got to be truth. So we will talk about more next time how far the true desire goes, because our minds, we are always operating, as I mentioned earlier, this is the light and it is illuminating. Nobody is out there who doesn't have illuminating light. And the basic character of this light is happiness. We all are happiness. We are made up of happiness. That is why happiness, love, leads to happiness. So if you can get love and pure love, number one, you recognize it right away, and that makes you happy. You will go back to even a very poor friend of yours who cannot give you material, but if she or he can give you love, you will go back again and again. Why? Because you want to get that love. You want to feel that love. And all these classes that we do, or meditation we do, what is the purpose of this? The purpose of this meditation is not to teach you that, okay, you need to sit in this pose 3 hours a day to get what you need to get. No. This is that you feel the love, that it's being shared right here, right now, and that will take you to happiness. Because happiness is the purpose of life. You want happiness, and the basic consciousness is happy within you. So what is the purpose of this meditation or this class? To connect you to your own happiness. Think about liberty, think about independence, that you really don't have to go anywhere. How could you lose with this? You don't have to go anywhere. You are within yourself, you are connecting, you are peaceful, and then as a body, if I can draw, I don't know, but because you become happy, you are radiating that happiness everywhere, right? So whoever is coming in contact with you is become happy. So what are we spreading? We are spreading that love and happiness. Do you think in today's world we need that? Of course we need that. So once you become happy, the first thing you go and you hug someone. Why? Because you're happy. That's all you can do. There is no frowning, nothing. But you are making yourself happy inside. It's coming from where? That the light within you. So all this, the things we have discussed is towards taking you to your own happiness by simply what? Following your own life. You are following your own life. Take the tools, apply in your own life the way fits you the best, and then use it. How could you not win? And if you are winning, the next person is winning. If you are happy, your spouse is gonna be happy, or your brother will be happy, or your mother will be happy, or your child will be happy. Now there are two happy people. They will meet with two more, that is four, and it spreads. Where this is all starting from? Your desire that you needed to find the true source of happiness. So the enlightenment through meditation really means that you make the effort for your own self, to progress your own self, and realize to make the desire to find yourself ultimately leading to being desireless. Because then when you are happy, you found it. There is nothing more to be found in life. That is one thing that you need to find. I was in a seminar, I was speaking in a seminar, and it was about how to live 100 years. And there was somebody who made a presentation that people who were living like in the, who were at the last stages of their lives, if they asked them like, what would you like to share? And they said that they never, one of the things, there were I think 9 things, but one of the things was they never did which pleased them. They did everything that pleased others, and they weren't sure if they were the right things that they did or not. But they never took one thing that they could say, you know what, this is what I did, it pleased me, and today I feel good about it. And that was kind of sad. That all life you pass, you try to please others, you never found that you were the source of happiness, which you could have spread around. So I think that would be our session for today. And after that, we will get more into talking about, the true desire. What was the last slide? Yeah, the true desire, how to find it, how to go more about it, and ultimately leading to be desireless, because we will reach to this goal. And that would be the first part of our talks. Then we will go to what is the true school, how to find, how to go within, what is the process like, and ultimately where we can go. So one of the things we would like to share with all of you, the viewers here as well, is this is the path of happiness. This is the path of love. This is the path of sharing. So if you can all share with your friends so they can watch, they can be happier. Because one thing about this particular happiness, the law for happiness is the more you give, the more it comes. So even for the selfish reasons, if you are giving happiness to someone, you get more, and especially much more if you don't expect anything from it. And we will, when we talk about the expectation class, when we will go over like why this divine law also works. And then spread this word, or basically it is the truth, communicating the truth within you. And at DKWS, we are starting a movement, because at some point in time, we all have to come up as a movement, because one person cannot shake it. I cannot alone maybe move this stand, but if there are 10 people, we can move it easily. So we want all our viewers, everybody who comes to DKWS, become a part of this movement. What? movement of happiness, movement of love, movement of truth. It's a journey. And then by doing that, what basically we are doing? We are uplifting ourselves, we are uplifting our friends, we are uplifting the society. And when the society is uplifted, the love would spread. Then really we are uplifting the whole ecosystem. And what could be there be a better thing to do? You can watch us, as much as you like. These videos also go on the YouTube. You stream it, they get recorded. You can watch them there, and then you can come. We are asking, what I am asking you is spread it, because it is generally people say disease is not a good thing. This is disease of love. I think we should spread it. It better get infectious. So that is what we are looking. So you can come to our page. There is a DKWS page. You can come. You can like us. You can share with our friends. You can follow us on Twitter. We are trying to be everywhere. And also, these classes we have introduced, give us your feedback. We would like to know what are the things you would like to hear. What are the things we can talk to you about? How you are liking the class. Are they helping you? Or how modulation you would want? Or if you have a particular issue, we would love to hear that. And then we have a website, drkors.com. You can go, it's on the right side button, even I remember. Email us, you can go and you can click on it and write whatever you like. Because we want it to spread like wildfire, because today is the need. If you ask me what is the need today, happiness is the need. Love is the need. I wish there was a dish everywhere in every store available, which when everybody walking out they say, please take love with you, But at DKWS it is available. I may not be able to give you a dish, but I definitely can give you a hug. And always realize happiness is not too far. It's just a click away. So Joy, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your time you have taken to join us. And I love everyone here who has taken the time. I always say I love those feet who have come to this session. I love all those fingers who have clicked to Ustream, and I love those eyes who have sit in front of computer to watch it. I really appreciate it. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching.